Davey VTV, Davey V with you. Okay, full disclaimer. Ready? I apologize in advance for this video. Basically, I visited beautiful Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York, and the wind was absolutely crazy. So much so that when I ran it back, right, played back the video before doing some edits here, it just like I was like, you know what? I had to basically make a decision. I didn't want to scrap the whole video because it is a beautiful day, as you're seeing now. By the way, this is a beautiful tree, a black oak, and I just had to just get this on video, right? Absolutely beautiful. I just got a thing for trees. They're beautiful. They're majestic. There's so much history. They've been here, many of them, longer than we have. And I don't know, in every which way, I'm just fascinated by trees. So, yeah. But anyways, as you can see, look at that sky. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous day here in Rochester, New York. And again, I had to make a decision. Do I scrap the footage? And I couldn't do that, especially because it's such a beautiful day. Blue sky. Cold, though. Very cold and very windy. So I decided to just do a voiceover, which is obviously what I'm doing now. So again, just continuing to do more and more videos, which is something that I have said we've actually done before. I've visited Rochester, New York's Mount Hope Cemetery several times, countless times actually. We've done videos on Frederick Douglass, who is buried here. We've also done some videos on Susan B. Anthony. And again, just a beautiful, beautiful place. So today, what brought me here is I wanted to do a video. I wanted to feature the grave of Craig Hurd, and we're making our way there shortly. And basically, just to give you a little bit of history on Craig Hurd. Craig Hurd was 14 years old in 2010 when he was executed. And yes, I'm using that word. I'm calling it what it is. Executed by two trigger-happy Rochester, New York police officers, Serge Savichev and Hector Padgham. And basically, on June 10th, 2000 and I'm sorry, I said 2010 earlier. On June 10th, 2002, I apologize. Craig Hurd was driving a stolen car on that morning. And unfortunately, it's one of those cases that I even kind of made a teachable moment for my children, because in life, and some of us, many of us have been there, you know what I mean? We think when we're young, we think some people are friends. First of all, I'm very, I don't know, just critical of that word friends. People use it, even adults misuse that word often. It's used freely, too liberally, too loosely. And I think what we really have, if you really, really break it down and think about it, is acquaintances. You know what I mean? The word friend is a very special word, and it just shouldn't be given. That title shouldn't just be freely and easily just given to anybody, but yet everyone does it. But anyways, unfortunately, Craig Hurd was hanging with the wrong people. You know, we got to call it what it is. And hanging with the wrong crowd and thinking that some people were his friends when they really weren't. They were a bad influence on him. So he was driving a stolen car in Rochester, New York. He was basically joyriding on that morning. And the case has several disturbing parts. Obviously, he was killed by two Rochester, New York cops, which I'll talk about more in a minute. But basically, it also has another disturbing fact is that before he was executed by the two Rochester, New York police officers, he was spotted at a gas station on Monroe Avenue in the city of Rochester, New York, and they basically let him go. They didn't pull him over. So a short while later, they cornered him basically in a dead-end street off of Park Avenue. Those of you familiar with Rochester, New York, a small alley, small dead-end street, basically, off of Park Avenue called Girton Place. And that's where they executed him. You know, Rochester, New York police claim that he drove towards them. Of course, there's no body cam video. There's no proof of that, only the cop's word. And if you know the Rochester, New York Police Department, they have a long history of misconduct and corruption. So it's, their side or no other side, you know what I mean? Just their side, basically, is what they're, what they said their justification for executing him was. They claimed that he was driving towards them, and but yet both officers, again, Rochester, New York police officer Serge Savachev and Hector Padgham, had time to get in their shooting stance and fire several shots at Craig Hurd, killing him instantly. So this one here just is real personal for me, especially because I covered the case when it happened, and I also made a short film called RPD Badges of Dishonor, Corruption, and Murder. I'm actually going to play a little clip here in a second of the late, great, very good man, Reverend Raymond Graves, a longtime civil rights activist who worked very closely with my dad, Mario Vara, all the way from the 1980s in Rochester, New York, denouncing police corruption and misconduct, especially on behalf of the Rochester, New York Police Department, who has a long history of misconduct and corruption and of killing unarmed innocent people. And then I'm also going to play a short video. Another thing that for me I was personally involved in, and I'm proud of this, is that Tammy Westbrook, Craig Hurd's mother, she got a $350,000 settlement from the city of Rochester in a wrongful death lawsuit after Craig was executed by the two trigger-happy RPD cops. But yet, Craig Hurd's grave sat abandoned with a small little plastic funeral home marker, which is standard when anybody is buried. And that really, really upset me. So I made several videos, and I'm going to play that in a second here too. Just bringing awareness to the fact that his grave was abandoned for years, and I'm talking years. And then finally they put up this gravestone for him that you see has his picture on it. So again, I'm going to roll those videos now. And again, I apologize about the sound being gone in this video, and I'm doing this voiceover. But again, it was such a beautiful day that I just didn't want to scrap this footage. Let's roll the video. First, it's going to be Reverend Raymond Graves, and then I'm going to play a short video of one of the videos I did, basically exposing how his family got paid $350,000, but yet they didn't give him the respect of giving him a gravestone headstone there for many, many years. I mean, it was a long time before he got a gravestone, and I'm talking at least at least 10, 15 years passed, which is really, really disturbing. So let's roll those videos now.
We're deeply involved at the present time in the dealing with the problem of police brutality, especially toward African-American young men in this city. We know in the last couple of months, 4 have been killed in the custody of the Rochester Police Department. Let's take the boy, the little 14-year-old boy that they gunned down, who was driving the car. They didn't have any other excuse but to say he tried to run us down with the car. How many times, I ask you, the public, how many times have you jumped out the way of an on-rushing car? If that was the case, why couldn't the police jump out of the way? No, somebody wanted to shoot, and that's what they did. They shot and killed this boy. I don't believe that he was trying to kill them, and I believe that his life could have been saved at a dead-end street. All he had to do to wait him out, he had to jump out of that car and run and get hungry or something. This idea about we're trained to shoot to kill doesn't mean you have to kill. You kill because you want to kill.
In June of 2002, 14-year-old Craig Hurd was executed by Rochester, New York police officers Serge Savachev and Hector Padgham. Craig's mother, Tammy Westbrook, received a wrongful death settlement from the city of Rochester in the amount of $350,000. But despite having received the settlement, Craig Hurd doesn't even have a gravestone to mark his final resting place in Rochester's Mount Hope Cemetery. Only an old, weathered, temporary funeral marker marks Craig Hurd's abandoned grave. Thank you for watching. And if you're interested in learning more and watching more about Craig Hurd, you can watch the short film that I produced in 2003 titled RPD, Badges of Dishonor, Corruption, and Murder, which centers around the execution of Craig Hurd by Rochester, New York police officers Serge Savachev and Hector Padgam. And you can watch it right here on my YouTube channel, Davey VTV. Again, it's RPD, Badges of Dishonor, Corruption, and Murder. As always, thank you for watching Davey V TV.